Hey y'all, welcome back to Convos with Bree. I'm Bree, BREE, and today is day 66 of the Visibility Challenge. I wrote a blog, a reflection called The Space Between Who You Were and Who You're Becoming. And I have been diving in on this a lot lately because there's this part of healing, of doing all this inner work, and you find all this awareness and all this understanding about your own responsibility and who you've been and who you were and in who you're becoming, who you are right now. And once you start to see how much you actually have a say in who you are, in what you do, in how you respond, react, think, all of these things, it it gets really crystal clear. All the areas of your life where you've not been making choices that support who you truly are or where you want to go. And there's a whole list of reasons. There's experiences, there's other people that influence, there's lessons you've learned, there's hurt, there's all of these reasons we do what we do. And when you start looking into it, if you're like me, at first you go down this path of blame, of resistance to your own responsibility, because you start to see everything on everyone else before you see it on yourself. And the thing is that a lot of it, a lot of that hurt, a lot of the things that we've been through, you're not wrong. And for a while, I found myself just getting stuck there, and I couldn't seem to find my way out of this place of resentment and this place of hurt and this place of feeling like everything could have been different if my circumstances were different, if the people around me were different, if I would have known better, all of these things. But that wasn't doing me any good. That was just keeping me trapped in this loop that I didn't want to be in to begin with. Nothing really changed until I started to change my inner world and I changed the way that I was looking at everything. I stopped blaming and I started finding compassion because all of us really are just doing our best, even when it doesn't feel like it. Even when somebody was doing something terrible, there's a reason for that too. And it wasn't for me to try and heal everybody else. My only responsibility was to try to find a way to be able to understand what I was doing, why I was doing it, and then align it with something I actually wanted to be doing. Something that was helping me, building me, supporting the direction of my life that I was going and where I wanted to go so badly. And blaming and resenting and staying in that energy was never going to help me heal. It was never going to help me grow. It was going to hinder me for the rest of my life if I allowed it. So I started looking at everything as present. I stopped comparing. I stopped looking for examples of why I should defend and react and do all of these things. And I washed it all away. I made it all about a brand new day, a brand new moment, a brand new opportunity for me to do something different. But then I kept finding myself in all of these old, familiar places with people that I have patterns with and that I have known forever. And when I would show up, nobody was treating me like I was brand new. Nobody was treating it like this was a new day. We were slipping right back into these patterns, right back into these things that I didn't love. People talking poorly about their life, about people around them, about situations. That was one of the hardest things for me to get away from because honestly, every time I tried to redirect the conversation, they would direct it right back. And it it seemed like nobody was really interested in talking about what I wanted to talk about. In fact, they kind of acted like I was a little like loopy or like I was a little too woo woo for them. And it felt to me in the moment like they didn't really like this version of me. And we didn't really have anything to talk about. And it didn't really feel good. And at first that scared me because if I don't have these people and these places, then who am I? This is all I've known for a lot of my life. So I started catching myself slipping back into things that I didn't want to be a part of. And I would leave there feeling just totally icked out in my soul. This was not what I wanted, but I didn't know what I did want. And it got really isolating and really lonely. And then I started meeting people who were on similar paths. But we were still all struggling to consistently be these versions of ourselves. And I found us all slipping into these patterns. And then I got out on the road and I got away from everything. And I took some serious time to have quiet and to soul search and to sit in my discomfort and to be isolated. And I learned that it really wasn't bad. In fact, it was nice. It was needed. It was healing in ways that I never thought I could have. And then I came back. And it was beautiful because so many of these people had been doing the same. They had been doing their own work while I was away, and they had been doing their own soul searching and healing. And now we were having real conversations. We were diving in and we were consistently showing up as these new people. And the ones that weren't, they were still doing the same old, but we weren't crossing paths anymore. And I wasn't sad about it anymore. I knew that if I was meant to come back together with anyone, it just would. I wouldn't have to force it. I wouldn't have to mourn that loss. If it was meant to, it will. And if it's not, it won't. And it's just as simple as that. And if it doesn't, then it's making room for something else, something I want to be here now. And writing this blog, and I actually wrote one for tomorrow as well that kind of goes hand in hand with this. But writing this really made me appreciate that discomfort is really proof that you're changing, that you are becoming this new version of yourself consistently, that this is who you are now. And we don't have to fear it. We don't have to try to control it or force anyone to come with us. If it's meant to be, it will be when it is supposed to. Because like I always say, nothing that is meant for you will miss you. Time and space can always bring things back around. But leaning into the change, leaning into all this work has been so beautiful and so worth it. And I'm so glad I just stuck it out, that I sat in the discomfort, that I followed my heart, and that I never quit what I know is meant for me. All right, y'all. If you want a deeper dive, pop on over to convoswithbree.com. You can see the reflection. You can see the reflection questions and do a deep dive for yourself. Book a convo, watch more of the visibility challenge videos, whatever it is that's calling you, you can find it there. Convoswithbree.com. Let's soak this in. Let's have a beautiful day. You're right where you need to be. So be here now.